I would like to welcome someone who was with Michael Jackson on a daily basis. I'm with Dorian Holley, vocal director for the This Is It tour. He has been a vocal coach on American Idol. He's one of Hollywood's most sought-after musical directors. Dorian, thank you so much for being with us in this Issues exclusive. Dorian was with Michael the day before he died. He was there during all of Michael Jackson's final rehearsals. Was he scared? Was he afraid? He had a lot to prove. He was acquitted of child molestation charges, but there were a lot of people who said he was still toxic and that nobody was going to buy his music. What did he have to prove?
I think that he had a lot to prove to himself. In the beginning, they announced a couple of shows, and then those shows quickly ballooned to 20 to 25 to 50 shows. He told me that we could tour for 5 years if we wanted to, and if he felt like it. He was bragging about all the places where we'd go. He thought of a way. He didn't like touring, and a lot of people don't, but he'd found a way to tour that was more to his liking. In other words, he would go to a place and park and let everybody come to him so that we weren't going, you know, to a different place every other day or every week.
Well, that's interesting because a lot of people think that, wow, when they expanded it from just a few shows to 50 shows, that's when he became panicked and wondered whether or not he'd be able to do 50 shows. But you're saying quite the opposite. You're saying that he was happy that it was 50 shows.
You know, there are a lot of people who are trading on their supposed relationship with Michael Jackson. I don't know about all the people that have or don't have relationships with him. I know what he told me. And I said, how long are we going to do this to? He said, we could do it for a couple of years, we could do it for 5 years.
If you believe the defense, he's frail. He's a desperate drug addict. Who was the person you saw? Who was the Michael Jackson you saw?
Well, first of all, I'm not the guy to help the defense, because I think that with Conrad Murray being a doctor, that it should have been his business when something went wrong. I think part of the reason that Michael had them there, whether it was legal or not, whether it was right or not, he was there. He should have been the guy to step in and help Michael when something went wrong. I don't believe Michael was administering the drug himself. What would he need the doctor there for if he was doing that? But this is Dorian talking. If it's up to me, Conrad Murray is going to jail for a long time. Let me just put that on the floor.
You saw him there.
I saw him at rehearsals a couple of times. I didn't know who he was at the time. I didn't know till after.
Well, tell us about that. What was he doing at the rehearsals?
He was there, like, the last week of rehearsal. He came, I believe, I remember him coming 2 times. They had a little spot off from the stage in the center. They had a few chairs together, like pews stuck together, where he would sit or stand and watch the show. And he had an air about him that I just didn't like.
Dr. Murray?
Dr. Murray did.
What was that air?
I couldn't tell what it was, and I didn't, you know, everybody there, I knew who was there. You know, you knew the wardrobe people, you knew the cast, the dancers, whoever. And when somebody was there that you didn't know, they kind of stood out. And I just remember going in my mind, I didn't ask anybody, I didn't say anything. Just, you know, it was just a vibe that and it was just an air about him that I didn't like.
Arrogant?
You know, I'll say sleazy.
Sleazy?
But I know now, I mean, I don't think that I thought that at the time because I didn't know what it was. It was just something like, who is this? You know what I mean?
Dr. Conrad Murray is sitting there and you're just not, you're not grooving on him.